You are listening to Hmong American Buzz.
Sometimes not every client's gonna like my work, and I think I've learned through the years that I have to be okay with that. And I always try to my best to make it work with them. If they don't like something, I have to kind of compensate.
Welcome to the second episode of the Hmong American Buzz. My name is Sue, and with me is my co-host Aaron. How's it going, Aaron?
Good. Wow. Episode 2. I didn't know we were going to make it past the first week.
Haha, good joke. I'm freezing here right now, though.
Why is that?
I'm in the garage.
What are you doing in your garage?
Well, as of right now, since we're recording, I'm recording garage because we have a large family meeting for another 2 hours. I'm forced to move to the garage just because it's so loud in the house right now. So there you go.
I hope you have a sweater.
Yeah, I'm wearing my jacket right now, but I'm still cold.
Put on a hat then.
No, I'm fine. So, where are you at right now?
Me, I am sitting by my computer screen getting ready to do this podcast. So, who are we interviewing today?
Well, for today's interview, we are interviewing Gina Her. Gina does photography on the side. She took photos for me and my wife back then for some of our photos in general. It's because my wife wanted some photos. And she's really good.
Right on.
Yeah. So without further ado, let's jump into the interview. Introducing Gina Her. How you doing, Gina?
Good. How are you guys?
We're doing good. So, before we begin, can you give us a background about yourself?
Okay, so I recently, I graduated from University of Wisconsin-River Falls with my marketing communications degree, minor in art. I was born in Thailand, but raised here in Minnesota, so I've just lived here all my life. Yeah, that's pretty much it, and I do really enjoy photography, of course, and before photography, I did sing a little bit. I sang for a few years, but then, I feel like there's so many talents out there. I don't know. I feel like intimidated to sing anymore, so picked up photography instead. Then stick with that.
Have you ever gone to any competition like American Idol?
No, I wasn't that good. I was just like
Not even just to try out?
No.
Put yourself out there?
No, I did like the Hmong New Year stuff. That was it.
Oh, the competition?
No, just for fun.
Oh, okay,
No
okay.
competition. I feel like I'm not that good, but I'm good enough to go on the stage and just sing something.
Alright. So just start off. So, what got you to photographing?
So I was in a pre-college group called Upward Bound, and every year we would go to River Falls and sleep there and just have the college experience. And I had a flip phone at the time, and I took a picture of a flower, and I was just so amazed, oh my gosh, this picture looks so cool from the angle I took it at. And then ever since then, I just had this spark. I think that was probably my freshman or sophomore year in high school. That just made me feel like, oh, I need to work hard and get my own camera and start pursuing photography. So that's where I started.
So, how long have you been on this photography journey?
I bought my first camera, a Nikon D60, I believe, and I think my junior year in high school, yes. And then ever since then, I started shooting just for fun, and people started coming to me for their senior photos. So I'm like, oh, I guess I can get paid for this. So I wasn't initially, I didn't get it to start doing business, but it became a business because of people asking for it. So ever since then, I think I would say about 9 years now that I've been doing it.
So, so when you say people start coming to you, is it because were you the only one with a camera, or how did that happen? Were you the person who always has a camera on you at all time? Is it?
Um, I think it was all social media because I post them on Facebook, and
Okay.
people are like, "Oh, this is so cool! I like how you take pictures. Can you do mine too?" And I'm like, "Okay," and that's how it all started.
I saw like so. Do you always have a camera? Do you always carry your camera with you whenever you go out?
No, I actually don't. I'm not that type of photographer where I like to bring my camera everywhere.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I just feel like it's kind of scary with the world we live in. I don't want to attract any unwanted attention if people are trying to rob me for whatever reason. I only do it if I'm doing for a shoot. That's it.
Okay.
hmm
So then, how do you find your motivation to take photos?
Um, of course, other people's work for sure. I always look for inspiration on Pinterest, Tumblr has great inspiration, but mainly they come from my dreams.
Well, talking about inspiration, is there someone that inspired you to start this journey, or
Um,
someone that you look towards to?
it's I don't really have a particular artist that I really enjoy looking at. It's like a mixture of a lot of artists, honestly, and I feel like everyone, like all the Hmong photographers, they all inspired me, honestly, because I've been a part of that group for a long time. I really love Cam Zhong's work. I'm sure you guys heard of him. Hua Vang, oh my gosh, her work is amazing. I think she's probably one of the other really main person because her type of photography is like very fine art type. I
Yes.
like that a lot. So I would say, yeah, she's probably one of my inspiration that I
So
look up
what?
to.
Oh, sorry. So what kind of picture do you take? Like, are you like couple picture, nature photographer, something
Yeah.
like that?
So I first start out as a senior portrait person, and then I became like a family. I didn't really start doing weddings until probably after college, which is 2014. Ever since then, I started doing more engagement, more maternity. People will start having more kids, so some newborns now and then. But I do mainly just weddings and engagement.
I'm going through some of your work, and yeah, I'm really impressed with all your shots. So
Oh, thank you. Oh yeah, I forgot I do
yeah,
fashion stuff too. I love doing
okay.
a lot of fashion.
And yeah, so like a lot of your picture, it's mostly people pictures. So I was wondering if you also do like nature shot, like just go out to the woods and take pictures of waterfalls or something like that.
Yeah, I like that too, but I like doing more like, let's see, buildings.
Okay.
Yeah, agriculture type. Wait, no, not agriculture. Sorry, more like what's the word? I'm trying to find the word for it, but I just like to take picture of buildings and abstract of buildings.
Okay.
hmm
Speaking of buildings, so Gina, you took some photos of me and my wife a while back, last year I believe, and
Oh yeah,
yeah, thanks so much for that, by the way.
yeah. I had a blast. You guys were so good.
Yeah.
The one of my favorite is the one I take View Your Wife for sure. The one and that building is at the U of M. It's one of their I don't know, or I forgot what building it is, but it's one of the buildings at the U of M. It's really beautiful there. A lot of the buildings over there are actually really nice. If you haven't been to U to walk around, University of Wisconsin, University, Minnesota, go check it out. There's so many beautiful buildings. I would say my other favorite is the state capitol.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
and it's free for photographers to go shoot. You can even bring lighting too. You
Yeah.
just don't take up too much space because I think that's when they're like, okay, you can't take pictures anymore. But they're really nice about it. So,
So when you mean it's free, how do you know if the places are free or not?
I always either I call them ahead of time or I check out their website.
Okay, so going back to some of your work, I'm seeing a lot, mostly outdoor shot and then a few indoor shots. So I was wondering, do you have your own studio to shoot in?
I did for a year, and then I recently stopped renting the space because I'm moving and planning on getting my own, apartment soon. I was planning to start a business there, having people coming there, more of a lifestyle type of shoot.
Okay, so I'm assuming when you go take this picture, you just bring all your gears with you then.
Yep, I just bring out my gear. I actually don't bring too many things actually. No special lighting. Mainly, I do a lot of natural lighting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's
So
really hard to do. I've noticed outside studio. I've noticed a lot of people they they're not too sure how to use natural lighting. At least
Yeah,
the people I've worked with, they've already bring their
yeah.
own lighting, and then you
Um,
have to position it correctly and whatnot.
hmm That's right. You know, I throughout the years, you just really have to learn how to like work with the light. If it's very light out and the client really wants to shoot around 12, of course you can't control that. So what you have to do is just try to shoot in areas with a lot of shadow, and then that's how you don't like. You can still shoot really nice, but within the height of the sun. Just don't work against it. So it's pretty fun. You just have to
So
really
how
know.
long? Oh, sorry. So how long would you say it took you before you kind of perfected shooting that with natural lighting?
I would say a long time because I feel like I didn't have the confidence that my work was good, even though people keep telling me it is. I didn't have that confidence because for a long time until I would say maybe like 6 years at least, because I feel like we're our worst critique. You know, we always
Yes.
trying to perfect our own things all the time. So yeah, 6 years I'd say.
Wow,
It's a long time.
it
So,
is.
sorry. So for many of us who doesn't know about these photography gears, what's the typical things you have in your bag that you usually bring during a photo shoot?
So my bag, I always carry my body camera. So right now I currently have a Nikon D750, and that's considered a full frame camera. Full frame and crop are different in a sense where like full frame you take a picture and it has a bigger pixel when you people want to blow up a photo it'd be so much nicer, but a crop is like, you know, you don't have that big of a size, so if you try to blow up the photo it's not going to look that good, but it'll be okay. And then I have three lenses right now. I carry only two. The one I use the most is my Sigma 35 millimeter 1.4, and my other one is my 50 millimeter 1.4, and I'm planning on purchasing uh, a 105 millimeter 1.4 pretty soon, and that's like a very expensive lens, and hoping it'll be worth it.
Since you're purchasing all of these expensive equipments, do they go out of date pretty fast?
Nope. The only thing that would probably go run out of life is probably your body because it's like your car. You know, you've driven for a long time and it collects mileage. Same thing with the camera. So you have to probably buy a new camera every few years. But your lens never goes out of style.
Really, I always assume that camera lasts forever until it breaks.
No, nope. It's something called a shutter speed. Yeah, we are not shutter speed. Sorry, shutter count. Yeah, on your camera. So before you buy a new camera or used camera anywhere, you always want to ask them what is the shutter count on it? Because if it's too high, then that means that, you know, the quality may not be as good or the life of it might die soon. I don't know. So you just have to always ask. I didn't know that until recently too. So
So when you say the shutter, is that the that kind of snapping noise it makes every
yep,
time you take a picture?
yeah, shutter count. Yep. So yeah.
Really?
So that's yep the same. It works the same way as a car. So it
I,
does die.
I just always assume when it snips like that, then that means that the camera just took a picture.
I mean, yeah, I mean, it just took a picture, but then
But yeah,
it's like collecting memory in a way too.
I never knew that it's like the life count of your camera.
Yeah, I know, me too. We all learn something, right?
So
I feel like, yeah, I learned something new.
so I'm having, since I don't really know much about camera, how often does, or what's the life expectancy of a camera, or it just depends how many times you use it?
It just depends how often you use it, honestly. I still have my crop camera with me, which is my second upgrade is the Nikon D5100. It still works really well. I only use it now if I want to record videos.
Okay,
But hmm
because yes, I mean sometimes when I see like sports photographer use the camera, they take like so many shots at the same time when you know the snip 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 snip.
Yep.
So I'm assuming like that by taking pictures of that and you go through camera really fast, you know.
Yeah, I would assume so too. Yeah, but honestly, I feel like the quality still like, you know, pretty good. It's just
Okay.
depending on your own preference if you want, you know, better quality.
Okay. Wow, I I never knew a camera. So the snippet is pretty much the most snippet you take, and that pretty much is like the lifespan of a camera now.
Yep, a lifespan of a camera, so it does have a lifespan.
Whoa, well, that's good to know. So, from your point of view, how do you define a great picture? What do you look for in a picture?
What I care most about when I look at a photo is what is the story of it. Like, what's it trying to portray? Like, what's it telling me? Is she happy? The surrounding, the environment of it. I don't really care so much if the background's blurred, I care more about what is the story or what is the picture trying to tell me, That's what I look for when I look at a photo.
Do you use any editing software at all to edit your pictures?
Yes, so I go through this process, put all my photo into Lightroom first, and then I select, kind of color correct everything that I want through Lightroom, and then I'll bring it over to Photoshop to change the colors even more if I want to, and then I can go and fix the blemishes on my client's face or their body, and then in the background that I don't want in there, I can delete it or remove them out of it.
So how long does it usually take you to edit one picture?
It depends. It depends on how many distractions is in the photo. But I always try to, when I take a picture, I always try to take it where I have to do least editing on it. So I care more about during the shoot more than I do in post editing, but I would say maybe about 2 hours.
For one picture?
Yeah, for one picture.
Wow.
That's if I really wanted to make it look amazing. But if it's just something quick where I feel like the picture look good already, I would say maybe like 10 minutes.
Okay.
Per picture, yeah.
Wait, what software was this?
Lightroom and Photoshop.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry, I'm looking at Lightroom right now.
Yeah,
I never heard of
okay.
I never heard of Lightroom before. So, so something that we always see, like in movies and TV shows, like when people are taking pictures and then they because once again, like I said, I know nothing about pictures and photograph. So like how they put the picture in water and then they hang it up to dry.
Yeah.
Do you do any of that stuff?
Oh
and
yeah.
then what is that called, by the way?
Yep, that's film photography, and that's going through a dark room.
Okay.
So that's the process. You have to put the photo in the chemical. I forgot what the chemical is called, but you have to put it in there and then move into the next, which is a water base, to clean the photo, and then you can like hang it up to see if it looks good. Yeah, you have to do that process through the dark room. They call it dark room, but the whole room is red, so you can kind of see as well. But yeah, I do really enjoy film photography as well.
And for film photography, is that something you can edit, like the pictures?
There is some techniques that you can do in the dark room, and you do need like some type of, let's say I wanted to make sure the background is a little bit more dark, then I had to use another sheet of paper to cover it during the exposure of the light. It's like a whole process I have to go through in the darkroom too. It's just too much to explain through here, but yes, there is a way to edit the photo in the darkroom.
Seeing how the evolution of our camera phone has been evolving every year, is there still a place for say like the handheld camera like the Nikon D60, or do you feel like those type of cameras starting to phase out?
Honestly, I think it's still gonna keep going, because no matter how much people like using their phone, it's nothing compared to a professional camera because of the lens, the focal lens. That's what captured the most, I would say. So I don't think it's gonna die out anytime soon. Whatever my opinion is, just my opinion. Another photographer may have their own opinion about all the things I've talked about as well. So I mean, I'm not much of a technical person, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Even if somebody asks me, oh, so what is your ISO on your camera when you shot that photo, I'd be like, let me check. I don't know it right away off the top of my head, but I do know what ISO is and all those other terms. But I'm more of a I'm just gonna shoot it because it looks beautiful right now type.
All right, so you say you went to the University of Wisconsin or University of River Falls?
Yeah, River Falls. Mm-hmm.
And then did you go there for film or photograph?
I minor in photography, yes.
So what was your major?
Marketing communication.
Gosh.
That must have come in handy then with your business of photographing.
Yeah, it is. My dream was to definitely one day just open my own studio, but I'm slowly getting there. I did have a studio, but then I just feel like there's so much competition in Minnesota, so I'm just like seeing what's the best path for me.
Hmm. Do you work alone or do you have help?
Before okay, for many years I did work alone, but when I have a significant other, they will come along as well, or if not, then I'll have my niece or my sister with me. Most of the time I can work on my own though. I don't really need help unless I need them to hold on the reflector for me, or
Yes.
or just hold my clients' stuff for them.
That makes okay. I've been meaning to ask. So I keep seeing lighting, so that's called reflecting, right? That sheet of plate or shining glass that I always see people holding when they
Yeah,
take a picture.
yeah, that's called a reflector. Yep.
Okay, so that's not lighting. That's a reflector.
A reflector that reflects the light from like the sun or bouncing light from a wall to the client. Yeah.
Okay. And you said you like to use natural lighting, so that's why you don't have. I'm assuming that's why you work by yourself then because you don't need somebody to hold reflector, correct?
So I mean it just depends on the day too. If it's too sunny, then yeah, I would need somebody to assist me by holding the reflector to maybe block out the sun, if the
Okay.
sun is too harsh, yeah.
So going back to video, exactly what does the reflector do then?
So what the reflector do is just it will reflect depending on how you shift it, it will if it's a sunny day, it will take the light from the sun and it reflect it towards your client. So it will have a really nice light on their face instead of a shadow or um, not like a dark. Yeah, it doesn't have like how sometimes you have shadow on your face. Yeah, that
Yes.
removes that. That reflector helps remove that shadow from your face.
Really?
hmm
Since you've been on this journey for a while now, what's one thing that you wish you knew before you started this?
I wish I knew about like I always thought that having an expensive body was like the main thing. So I did spend, I feel like I spend more money on like the body versus the lens.
So by body, do you mean is that camera?
Yep, the body camera.
Okay, okay.
Because the body camera does not matter as much as the lens.
But
Yeah.
what do you mean by that the body doesn't matter as much as the lens?
So you know how the professional camera, you see people always detach lens out in and out, right?
Yep.
So that's the body itself. So that just kind of captures the photo. But what's most important is the lens because the lens is what it captures what you can take through the lens. So that's why the lens sometimes costs so much more money because it's really where the beauty is at.
And I have noticed that the lenses they come in different sizes. Why
hmm
why is that?
It's okay. So the longer the lens is, that means that it's more of a macro lens, so it can zoom up close to things that are very far away that you don't want to get close to. And that's more of a zoom lens. The prime lens is the one that you can't zoom at all, but those are my favorite to shoot with. Prime lens where you don't can't zoom, so you have to go closer to the subject or move back.
Oh, so talking about that. So you say you do a lot of like couple and wedding picture photograph too, correct?
Yep, that's right.
So I've noticed at some weddings, there's always that the camera person's walking around like next to the bride and groom. They're always running around trying to get a perfect shot.
hmm
That feels like that requires a lot of work to run around so much.
Yeah, it does. I always get really tired at the end of the day, but it's so rewarding because when I go back and look at it, and it just makes me feel like I captured their moment, and then I just feel really blessed that they chose me to be their photographer. So
Uh,
I don't mind it. Yeah.
do you ever like worry that sometimes you're moving too fast that hopefully you don't trip or like when you're taking pictures while walking backward, are you like I please don't trip or something like that?
Yeah, yeah. I always get scared, but I'm really good at like paying attention to my surroundings. So every time I'm gonna back up, I always turn back and like, okay, I'm making sure no one's behind me, or there's no water behind me, or a puddle. Yeah, I always make sure to check my surrounding before I move back.
Has,
So good question.
has there ever been an incident where you maybe like hit a wall or hit a table or something like that before too because you were like moving too
Um,
fast?
no, I don't think so. I try not to. Maybe if anything, a chair, but nothing too like noticeable.
I'm really impressed how people can do that sometimes. It feels like they're not paying attention and they're walking backward while taking pictures, and I'm just really impressed by that.
I think it takes a lot of work. I mean, you just have to really be comfortable and multitask well. And I feel like I'm pretty good at multitasking when it comes to like things like that.
From your experience all the way until now, what could you say are some of your greatest obstacles to entering your photography business?
I would say the obstacle is just the type of clients that I meet. You know, sometimes not every client's gonna like my work, and I think I've learned through the years that I have to be okay with that. And you know, I always try to my best to make it work with them. If they don't like something, I have to like kind of compensate in a way where like, okay, I'm sorry this didn't work out this time, but I will give you like a free shoot based on what happened. If it, especially if it's my fault, I'm being there late or just not meeting their expectation. I always have to try, and that's probably one of my obstacles because I feel like sometimes taking critique from others may be hard too, but I'm learning to like be okay with it and just take it as it is and move on. You can't really do anything about it. It's gotta be
True.
okay. Yeah.
So, would you consider yourself as, I keep hearing the word thrown around a lot, a freelancer?
Yep, I would. Yep, I would consider myself a freelance.
So, as a freelancer, are you like a contractor type deal, or is it just like word, like you guys do contract through words, like okay, give me X amount and I'll do this? Like, how's been a freelance work?
So for the longest time, I've just been contracted to myself. So I will have a contract with the client, and they'll pay me X amount of money, and then I'll just go and do the work. But now, this year, I recently got contracted with Complete, the wedding company in
Okay.
Minnesota. Yeah, so I will be shooting weddings for them this year.
Oh
So,
wow, okay. So
Mhm.
is this something you're doing full time right now, or are you doing it on the side?
Just on the side.
So what do you currently do full time? Do you have a job full time, or do you do?
Yeah, so my full-time job, I am a mortgage auditor or processor, you can say, for this company called Tana Companies. And we are more of like a third-party auditor for banks that, don't really want to open their own branch of auditors. Might cost too much money. It would probably cost less to just bring it to someone else to do it for them. So that's what we do.
Okay. I always like to do this for these podcasts. So, are you ready to have some fun?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
But
So, what are some of the most ridiculous thing that people want you to take pictures of them doing, or like certain poses, or like doing certain things? If you understand,
yeah, let me
like
try
I'm
to
sure
think.
people want you to take some weird pictures before too, right?
Yeah, I think so. Because, I just recently started doing like boudoir shoots. So I don't know if you guys know what that is, but boudoir
No.
shoots are more seductive, intimate photos you take of couples when, and they're in their underwears or, panties.
Okay.
So those are boudoir shoots, very sexual, or even just girls, And I think I'm still getting comfortable of like just taking a picture of them like being nude. I would say sometimes they will pose in a way where I feel like, okay, that's a little uncomfortable, but you know what? If they like it, I won't post it, but I would take it for you.
Is it hard to like hide your facial expression? Are you trying to like keep
Oh
a
no, I tell
straight
them.
face?
I don't hide it. I tell them right away because I always try to make them comfortable with me as much as
Okay.
me comfortable with them. So I'll be like, this is a little much, but sure, I always make sure they know where I'm at. Like I'm not gonna hide it because I'm trying to be 100% with them.
Yeah, there goes Aaron and his awkward questions again.
Yeah,
Hey,
no, it's
we're,
okay.
we're just having fun, all right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So so where do you see yourself 5 years from now? Do you see yourself going full time on this?
Oh, I would like to. Yeah, I'm still, I'm always planning for like what's my next goal. As soon as I get my, my own place, I plan to hopefully that can become a full-time thing. Maybe on the weekend. Maybe after, my first job, that could be my second full-time job.
So what advice would you give to let's say aspiring starting photographers who wants to start their own journey, photographer journey too? What kind of advice would you give them?
The number one I would give them is to never compare your work to another photographer's work because I feel like a lot of us as starters we always compare like, oh, I'm not good enough yet, so I'm gonna stop. I don't want them to feel like they're not good enough, because you know what, their work may be appealing to another client, and they just have to keep going and never stop. Always shoot, always try to collab, always try to be someone's assistant, because that's how you learn the best.
All right, everyone. I hope everyone is taking note of that. That is some really wise words, by the way.
Yeah, learn it the hard way.
Okay, last question for me. Uh, so I've noticed sometimes when you're taking pictures, I'm sure you're taking pictures of people from all ages, right?
Hmm.
So how do you take pictures of say babies or little kids? I've noticed it's everyone has like their own way to make the young kids look at the camera because it's hard to get their attention.
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably why I kind of like stopped taking family photos, because the kids, they go on their own clock, and I feel the parents' frustration and I feel so bad for them, because I'm like, everybody wants good photo, but the kids will not cooperate. So, yeah, I just do my best. So one of the things I do is I don't really try not to pose so much with the families. I just tell them, hey, just interact with each other, and I'll just keep shooting, and that's where I usually get the best photos.
Okay.
All right. Well, since that's Aaron's last question, I have no more questions too. That means that we're going to our famous lightning round.
Oh,
So,
lightning.
so don't worry, it's pretty short. So, lightning round consists of our of three questions that we ask every guest. It's the same three questions, by the way.
Mhm.
Are you ready for this?
Yes.
Okay. So, question number one: where will you go for vacation spot and why?
I would go to Hawaii, because Hawaii has amazing food and a beautiful, gorgeous view.
I'm sure you can take a lot of good pictures over there too.
Yes, I'm always thinking about the areas to take picture as well. So Hawaii is one.
All right. Good enough. No, that's fair enough. I've never been to Hawaii before, but after this, maybe I'll think about it more.
Yeah. Same here. I've never been, but if you guys go, you can take me. I'll be your photographer.
Deal.
Okay. Question number two. What is your favorite book that you have read so far?
I would say Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Awesome book.
It is really amazing. So much you can take from it.
For Rich Dad Poor Dad? Well,
hmm
how long ago did you read that?
Actually, very recently, last month.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Hmm.
For many of you who doesn't know about that book, Rich Dad Poor Dad really, really motivates you after reading it. I'm not gonna spoil anything, so all I can say is I encourage everyone to read Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Yes, it's life changing. I mean, it just gives you a different perspective on life.
Yeah, definitely. All right. And question number three. What is one thing that you cannot live without?
Ooh, this is such a hard one. I would say my camera for sure. No matter how many times I say I want to give up on photography, I just can't. I just have so many ideas, and I just can't live without it.
No, that's fair enough.
Hmm.
So, where or how can people reach you?
You could definitely reach me on my Instagram account, which is Gina Her Photography on Instagram, and also the same thing with on Facebook as well. Um, Message me on there. You can reach me on there. You can also email me at ginaherphotography@gmail.com.
All right, and we'll also link all of those on the website as well. Well, thanks so much for your time, Gina. We really appreciate it, and I hope that you really enjoy our segment as well.
Yeah, I really did. I feel so honored. Like, out of all the photographers here, and you guys picked me, I feel so honored. So thank you guys for taking your time to talk with me as well.
Thank you for giving me your time.
Hmm.
Wow. I never knew that a shutter determines the life expectancy of a camera.
Yeah, same here. There were a lot
Yeah.
of good information for us to learn today.
I learned too much about camera.
It's really good information though um for everyone of you who's listening today. That's interested in becoming a photographer. Feel free to reach out to Gina Her. We'll also link her contact information on our website as well.
Bye.
Until next time, Hmong Buzz Nation.
If you like this podcast, then please share this with your friends and family. Also, please visit our website, HmongAmericanBuzz.com, for more details as well as links to our special guests. Last but not least, please subscribe to our podcast to get the latest episodes. Thanks for listening.